How well do you really know someone? On time, appearances, change, and hidden layers. By Gurubsar, Lankar Ida Baguz. People often say things like, I've known him for years, or we've been together for 18 years, I know exactly how he works. But is that really true? Reality often tells a different story. Because even after 18 years, you still might not truly know someone. Sometimes it takes even longer. People are not static objects. We are ever-changing beings, full of layers, wounds, desires, and secrets, things that don't always reveal themselves easily. We tend to believe that time automatically leads to understanding. That the longer we know someone, the better we understand them. But time is no guarantee of true insight. You can live with someone for years, know their habits, see through their patterns, and still be completely caught off guard by a decision, an action, or a truth that suddenly rises to the surface. Sometimes it's shocking, sometimes confusing, and sometimes painfully clear. Think of the woman who discovers, after 20 years of marriage, that her husband has been living a double life. Or the friend who always seemed loyal but disappears at the first sign of conflict, never looking back. The colleague who was always friendly and compliant, until one day he suddenly quits and spirals into burnout, and only then does it become clear how deep the frustration had been. Did he change? Or had he simply stayed silent all along? Or consider the mother who raises her son for 18 years, convinced she knows everything about him, until she hears, out of nowhere, about his depression or hidden identity. Not because he deliberately kept her out, but because some truths can only be shared when the time is right. What we see in others is rarely the whole story. Sometimes, they don't even fully see it themselves. Old emotions, traumas, fears, and desires are often buried deep, out of shame, fear of rejection, or simply because the right words are missing. The mask of the friendly neighbor, the loyal partner, or the stable friend can remain perfectly in place for years, until it no longer fits and finally cracks. That's not acting. It's human development. Who someone is today is not who they were 10 years ago. We change, through experiences, losses, realizations, hormones, illnesses, relationships, disappointments, or simply through life itself. And often, those changes remain invisible to the outside world, until they suddenly show in behavior that seems out of character. We can trust someone based on what we see. But trust is different from truly knowing. And behavior can come from all kinds of motives, not all of them visible. Someone may adapt to fit in. Stay silent to keep the peace. Or be internally divided for years without anyone noticing. That doesn't mean we shouldn't trust anyone anymore. But it does mean that our understanding of people is never complete. It requires openness, continuous curiosity, and the awareness that even those we believe we know best can still surprise us. The idea that we can know someone completely is an illusion, but a comforting one. It gives us a sense of control and safety. But those who dare to look honestly see that even in the most intimate relationships, between parents and children, lovers, or best friends, blind spots always remain. And that's okay. It just means we should never stop really listening. Asking questions. Making space for the other to show new sides of themselves. Understanding people is not something you possess, it's a process. You can know someone for 18 years and still be surprised. That requires humility. The willingness to look again, without judgment. Without pinning someone down to who you think they are. Because in that openness lies real connection, not in the belief that you already know everything, but in the awareness that there's always more to discover. Some behaviors go far beyond a simple mistake or moment of weakness. They strike at the heart of trust. Betrayal is the most painful example. The pain of betrayal, invisible until it hits. And it often comes from an unexpected source, from people you thought you knew. People you've invested in for years, sometimes decades, with your time, your trust, your love. Betrayal is not an accident. It is a deliberate choice to break your trust, often quietly prepared, with a smile on the surface. What many don't realize is how deep that wound cuts. Betrayal does not heal on its own. It deserves recognition, not to dwell in it, but to do yourself justice. Today, betrayal is often downplayed. We hear things like, everyone makes mistakes, or let it go, it's better for you. But that's not always right. Not everything needs to be forgiven. Not everything should be forgotten. In earlier times, think of the Middle Ages, betrayal was punished severely. Not out of hatred, but out of clarity, a traitor could destroy you, and that required a firm boundary. Today we live in a civilized world. But the impact of betrayal is still just as poisonous. It steals your peace. It damages your trust, in others, but also in yourself. Betrayal isolates. That's why, after such an experience, it's important to become more alert. Not bitter, but clear. Because those who've been betrayed know, it's not strangers who break you. It's the people you let close. Forgiveness is not mandatory. Neither is forgetting. You can move on. You must move on. But that doesn't mean pretending nothing happened. Acknowledge it. Name it. Allow yourself to be hurt. Not to stay a victim, but to learn. To strengthen your boundaries. To preserve your self-respect. So never forget who hurt you. Not out of resentment, but out of self-care. So that next time you see a smile, you'll know kindness is not the same as sincerity. Keep watching. Keep listening. Keep feeling. Not everything is what it seems. People change, or reveal themselves. Sometimes that takes 18 years. Sometimes longer. But when that moment comes, don't be blind. Your life, or your inner peace, may literally depend on it.